Jeff, does this ice seem sturdy to you?
Well, it's mid-February, and though this hasn't been the coldest winter ever, I think we'll be okay to walk out to the island in the middle of Spot Pond here in Stoneham, Massachusetts.
All right, that sound right there always freaks me out.
Yeah, no, I get it. The ice creaks and groans when we walk on it. I mean, it's a good thing it's just a short distance away from the shore.
All right, this is a pretty small island in the middle of the pond. What do we... Whoa!
Yeah, Ray! Are you okay?
Yeah, I was just tripping over something.
You tripped over the very thing we're here to find.
It looks like some kind of small headstone, maybe a foot and a half tall.
Okay, you're close. Can you read the inscription?
It says, "Where Shute Fell."
Hi, I'm Jeff Belanger.
And I'm Ray Auger, and welcome to episode 130 of the New England Legends podcast. If you give us about 10 minutes, we'll give you something strange to talk about today.
Think of us as your modern-day Brothers Grimm on a quest to document every single legend in New England, one story at a time. And we do that through this weekly podcast, 130 weeks in a row so far, through our Emmy-nominated New England Legends television series that you can watch right now on Amazon Prime, and through our website, which is ournewenglandlegends.com.
And we can't do it without the support of our Patreon patrons. These folks just kick in $3 per month to help us with our hosting, production, and operating costs.
Thank you all.
Plus, I get early access to new episodes and bonus episodes that no one else gets to hear. If you want to join the movement, head over to patreon.com/New England Legends and sign up.
Okay, Ray, so I take it you're a little underwhelmed with Great Island here on Spot Pond in Stoneham?
Well, yeah, it's a little small.
Yeah.
It's maybe the size of a football field, a bunch of trees, no buildings that I can see, just a small island on a pond.
With a strange headstone.
Right, where Shute Fell, with Shute spelled S-H-U-T-E.
And I guess this must be where he fell.
Perhaps, but who is Shute? And did he die here?
Yeah, this is a puzzle. Now, the first time this stone shows up in writing is in an October 14th, 1884 Boston Globe article. So let's head back there and see if we can figure this out. It's the autumn of 1884. The weather's crisp but comfortable, and the trees are bursting into the brightest colors. We're taking this small boat out to the island in the middle of Spot Pond. Now, there's a group of picnickers already out here, and they seem to be really enjoying the day.
I see there's a wooden shack out here. It might be used for storage or, I guess, shelter if it rains.
Yeah, sure.
And hey, check this out. There's the stone right there.
There it is.
Man, it looks old even now. It's standing right by the hemlock tree. It's covered in lichen and dirt. It's pretty hard to read, but there it is. I guess this stone has already been here a while.
But if we rub away the mess on the stone, there's the words, "Where Shute Fell."
We seem to be drawing some attention from the nearby picnickers, Jeff.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you know what this stone monument is all about?
Oh, that stone was set there more than, well, it was way back a good many years ago. Shute, he was a captain or colonel of something or other in the Revolution, and that there stone was put there to mark the spot where he was killed.
Is that why they call this place Spot Pond?
No, kiddo. That's not where the name came from. But I guess this solves the mystery, right? I mean, this is a monument to soldier
Shute was captured by the British, but he escaped and came up this way. A squad of the Britishers was sent out to catch him again, and he took to the woods. He saw they were closing in on him and had to take to the water, but before he could get across the pond, he had to give it up and landed on the island. The soldiers, they got a boat and went after him, but before they got to the island, one of them fired. And right where he was standing, right here, Shute was hit and killed. Shute's family lived hereabouts somewhere, and after the war was over, they put his stone here to mark the place where the old soldier died.
All right. Well, I guess that solves it. A Revolutionary War soldier. It makes sense.
No, wait now. I've heard a different account of that.
Geez, Ray, it looks like we're drawing a crowd. What do you mean, sir?
Shute, as the story goes, was one of the early Puritan fellers, and the times when they used to have so much trouble with the Indians. He and his family, they settled up beyond here somewhere where not many white folks live. In one of the Indian raids, they and some other scattered families tried to get back to the settlements, back to Boston, I suppose. If I remember right, as the story goes, they came here on this island one night in a raft, so they'd be intending to go on in the morning. But when morning came, they found the Indians on shore in every direction. They were in for it. The Indians came off in canoes and attacked them, but they fought them off. Only during the fighting, this Mr. Shute was hit by an arrow and killed, right here. The rest of them got away all right, finally.
Okay, now, does That explain it?
This stone was put here some 50 years ago by Ezra Shute of Stoneham. He was a descendant of Shute who was killed here, and I believe he owned this island.
We spoke to a man earlier today in nearby Medford on the way out here who told us that this was once the site of a duel between two men.
Oh.
A duel that left a colonel named Shute dead.
Oh, man, I don't think that explains it either.
Jeez.
The old boatman over there, he seems to be getting a kick out of these stories. Maybe he knows something? Let's go talk to him.
Hey, my man, do you know why this stone is here?
I suppose I've heard more cock and bull stories about that there stone than would fill a book. Old Shute, he was a jolly old dog.
So you knew him?
Know him? Well, I guess I did. Shute, when he was sober, was the toughest wrestler you ever did see. And such a crowd of 'em as used to come here. They hadn't been here now for quite a number of years, but it used to be lively when they did come.
Well, who were they, and who was Shute?
Oh, it was a crowd from Malden and Charlestown. They used to come here 2 or 3 times every season, all together. There was as many as 50 or 75 of them, I should think. Many's the time I've rowed 'em over there to the island, a boatload at a time. But Shute, oh, he could throw any of 'em. One time, he had too much to drink, and over he went. How they did go for him that day. A few days later, some of 'em brought that their stone up here and sat it in the ground, and before long they had another one of their picnics here on the island. Shute, he hadn't heard of the stone. They kept it quiet from him until he got there, and when he saw it, he was so mad. Why, he never came here from that day to this. That was 20 years ago. Yes, nigh on to 25.
So you're saying this is a stone to a big man who finally got knocked down in a wrestling match?
Yep. You fellas have a nice day.
And that brings us back to today.
Okay, every once in a while, this stone in Spot Pond in Stoneham makes the news as a special interest piece.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Someone sees the thing, asks about it, the press runs a story, and then we all forget about it for a bunch of years until it cycles into the news again.
Right. And without a lot of information, think about it. People are left to guess at the backstory based on just 3 little words. Where Shute Fell.
Jeff, it's worth reminding everyone that what we know from our trip back in time came from that October 14th, 1884 Boston Globe article.
Right.
That's exactly what various people on the island said about the stone's origin. So we heard 4 different stories.
But 3 were pretty similar. A soldier of some kind was killed in this spot.
Right, but how do we know who to believe?
I think we have to give the most credence to the old boatman. He was the only person who said he actually knew Shute.
You don't think he was just spinning a yarn trying to get in on the storytelling?
Yeah, it's easy to think that, but then I checked with the Medford Historical Society and Museum, and they actually have a photo of the old wooden shack out on the island. Now, remember the wrestling matches the boatman talked about?
Yeah.
Well, wrestling isn't really the right word for it. According to the Historical Society, groups of men used to meet out here for these bare-knuckle fights. And sometimes the fights would last for seconds. Other times they could go for hours. Now, these were planned fights. I guess these guys just came out here to blow off steam.
And according to our research, the actual fight would have occurred around 1856, which is almost 30 years earlier than this article.
So completely possible that the old boatman did remember Shute.
That was 20 years ago. Yes, nigh on to 25.
Even his memory on the timing was pretty close.
And the fight must have been epic for people to go through the trouble and expense of erecting a stone out here on the island.
Yeah.
Shute must have been a legend in his own time.
Definitely. Because if not for this stone, he's lost to the ages. I mean, we have no idea his full name, where he lived, when he died, or anything else. But he must have been a real serious contender in this group of wrestlers and bare-knuckle boxers.
Wait a minute, Jeff.
Yeah?
I've seen this movie. Fight Club, starring Edward Norton and Brad Pitt.
Yeah, it does sound like that, doesn't it?
I mean, it's not my idea of a good time, but
Right.
some people are all about mixing it up and going home bruised and bloodied.
And here we are violating the very first rule of Fight Club.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
We did.
Just talked about Fight Club.
Yep.
And the legend of a man named Shute.
And right here is where he fell.
Now, if you guys enjoy our exploration of legends and lore each week, please consider posting a review of our show on Apple Podcasts or iTunes. Those reviews go a long way in helping others find us.
Also, visit our website at ournewenglandlegends.com for our entire archive of shows, a link to our super secret Facebook group, articles, video clips from the New England Legends television series that you can watch right now on Amazon Prime, and dates for my ongoing story tour.
We'd like to thank Michelle Mowry, Sophie Belanger, Scott Marcus from whatsyourghoststory.com, and Michael Legge for all lending their voice acting talents this week. And our theme music is by John Judd.
Hi, this is Carl Johnson from North Providence, Rhode Island. Until next time, remember, the bizarre is closer than you think.